count yourself lucky if you got admission to Brazil in 2022, 2023, 2024, 2025, or you already have your admission down as we speak, because without equivocation we can say that Brazil is casted. Now let me explain to you. A while ago I made a video about a particular school that has an opening. A lot of people applied, and it also helped some people to apply, and I was following a particular course closely, but I saw there's a particular one that is shocking. When the first list came out that we all know as homologation, a lot of names was on that list, and guess what, there was a lot of Nigerians on that list. And I'm like, wow, I was very happy, like, oh, a lot of people are going to be selected. But guess what? When the second list came out, it was very shocking. Half of the lists, they've been removed. They couldn't get to the next stage of the selection process. To me, I was like, what is happening? So, but I was like, okay, because after homologation, the next stage is most likely going to be like curriculum analysis, like CV analysis, or project analysis. So I was like, okay, could it be that maybe these people didn't do lattice CV, or maybe they didn't submit lattice CV, or maybe they did not write a good proposal. So that one by the side. Another one that happened at another school, this one I didn't even make a video about it, but I get to know about the opening and I applied, and when the first list came out too, I was like, wow, so many names that are very familiar to me. I saw all the names, I was like, wow, this is wonderful. And to my greatest surprise as well, when the second list came out, I couldn't see any Nigerian name again, and I was wondering to myself, but the rate at which people have been applying to schools in Brazil now is alarming. It is very encouraging, and it is at the same time shocking. But this is not where I'm going to. So the fact that people are being removed along the selection process is the most important thing I want to talk about in this video. And I'm not just talking about it for talking sake. I'm saying it so that people that are planning to apply in subsequent opportunity can glean one or two ideas from this video. Everything is changing. It could be as a result of the fierce competition. A lot of schools are now receiving huge numbers of applications than before, and because of this, they are now putting some measure. And I'm saying this because of a particular one that I know personally, and because of the information like an insider information I know about it personally. Looks like these schools are now, I won't even say looks like, the one I know, they now try to increase the selection process. They try to tighten the selection process such that people that are applying from abroad, if you are not in Brazil, it will be a bit difficult, especially if you are not prepared. Now, during the interview, the members of this interview will tell you that, oh, we are sorry, if you can't, they will tell you in English that we are sorry if you can't speak Portuguese, there is no way they are going to do interview for you. In recent time, I've also seen where during the interview, they were like, oh, hope you are aware that this course is going to be taught in Portuguese, so how are you going to cope? And because of language, people are being disqualified. So now, this is it. If you are planning to come to Brazil, if you are planning to apply for possible GCUB, if pec-pg is going to come out in this year, we don't know. But if you are planning to apply to any of these schools, things has changed, and one of the things that can give you edge is for you to go and get at least one certification, be able to at least introduce yourself in Portuguese. We so much have this confidence that you want to come to Brazil, ordinary bom dia, you don't know. Some of us, when we see opportunity, you're like, oh, this thing is written in Portuguese, and if it's written in Portuguese, so are you compelling Brazil to change their language to yours because you want to come to that country and study? So if you're planning to come to Brazil, let's say you're planning to apply to GCUB or pec-pg, or let's say these conventional ones that are opening right now, if you're planning to apply and you are looking for possible ways to increase your chances, please don't joke with the language. Don't joke with the language. That is number one. See, especially this one that is currently out, you are competing with Brazilians, and these Brazilians that you are competing, you have to have an idea of how their CV look like. Most of them, they have more than 3 publications. Most of them, they've done poster presentations. Most of them, they have book of chapters. Most of them, they have some of all these things, criteria that they use in the selection process that an average person that is applying from abroad does not have. So that means that you too, that you're applying from abroad, you have to tighten, you have to buckle your belt. Don't just think, I usually say it when I'm making video about opportunity that, oh, do not submit shabby application. So this is going beyond. The painful part is when your proposal has been shortlisted to go to the next stage, and during the interview you couldn't meet up. So some of the things that people are expected to talk about, the funniest thing is that, like, I have not only seen people being disqualified. I've also sat in the interview room, like hearing, listening to how people are responding. Some people are doing very well, especially those ones that prepare very well actually, but those ones that have a shabby preparation, it is reflecting in their interview. So guys, if you're planning to come to Brazil, things are changing. To be honest, things are changing. I want you to tidy up your language. The truth is that there's no way you can get by for a long time in Brazil without the language. If you really want to stay in Brazil, let's say you'll be fed up if you don't understand the language. Like, you won't really enjoy the milk and the honey of the land. You need to be able to speak at least at intermediate level. I used to tell people at least, and this is what is applicable to job. People say no job in Brazil, and the thing that is needed for the job you don't have, which is the language. That is, if you don't have what is needed. For example, someone is looking for an architect and you are never an architect, you don't have the skills, and you want to get the job. That is how it is. If you don't have the language to get the job in Brazil, it's going to be a very difficult one. And people that find themselves in the big city like Rio, like Sao Paulo, it is possible maybe they might come across some international companies that may want to employ, but it is not even because all the selection process are usually governed or are usually controlled by someone that speaks Portuguese. You might just be left with the option of working remotely. Let's say you're working for another company that is not in Brazil, okay, or you're working in a school, a bilingual school where you are expected to speak English. But the truth is still hinging on the fact that the Portuguese language, if you are going to stay in Brazil, is something you have to pay close attention to. That is number one. Number two is your CV. Okay, all what you have is just your degree or your it's just your BSc or your HND, and you want to compete with people that already have minimum of 2 or 3 publications. And when I talk about publications, I'm not talking about predatory journals, because we have a lot of predatory journals. All what they want, they just want to collect your money, because the way journals are being ranked, they are being ranked especially by their impact. There's something we call impact factor. So that is what they use in ranking journals. So if you are just publishing in journals that their quality is not even listed in the punctuation table, then how is it going to be used? Let's put that aside. So you are competing with someone that already has like 2 publications, 2 book of chapters, 2 oral presentations, and etc. But yours is just your first degree and your NYC, and you want to compete with so many of them that have all these other qualifications. Come on, how possible would that be? Ordinary teaching experience. Some people that already they have the teaching experience, but they're not even including it in their CV. And don't forget that one of the reasons why you want to become a researcher is for you to be able to disseminate the information you want to gather. So that means you should also have the teaching skills to some extent. In fact, do you know that if you have been a teacher or you're a teacher and you're applying to some opportunities, they give you some points compared to someone that has never taught or someone that does not have the teaching skills. So guys, I am making this video to create the awareness for people that are going to be applying for the current conventional ones that is meant for Brazilians, and some of them usually have some small slots for foreigners. If you're planning to apply under this category, please, I want you to try as much as possible to upscale your CV. Don't just submit your BSc or your HND and think you now put all if you are familiar with the way it is in Brazil, if you mention in your CV that you have done something before, you want to see an evidence. So it is not that you're just going to design a CV and there's no evidence to back it up. If you said you have a teaching experience, if you say you have a TOEFL, if you say you have IELTS, they want to see evidence. For example, if you said you have published a paper, they want to see a printout, and all of these things are going to be attached in the punctuation table. And you must have seen it. That is where the point. In fact, you can even calculate the points you can be able to gather at the end of the day. And this is one of the things. Do you know that the last? Okay, I'm not going to talk about that. But guys, if you are planning to come to Brazil in 2026 that we are in, please, I want you to fasten your seatbelts. You need to prepare yourself. Pay close attention to the language. Please don't joke with the language, because eventually when you get the admission and you come to Brazil and you cannot speak Jack, that is when you are going to face another another phase of life. So guys, I'm making this video. If you are planning to come to Brazil, make sure that you upscale your CV, try to learn the language, try to make sure that you prepare for the interview. Try to get familiar. I've seen situations whereby someone want to do an interview and I'm like, can you tell me something about the school? I don't even know where the school is. Come on guys, there's a need for you to prepare yourself, prepare your mind. Brazil, don't look at Brazil as a place or a country where you can just where admission is easy. Let me use the word easy. It is okay if it was easy before. In the last 3 years or 4 years, it is no longer as easy as it were now. And I'm not saying that we still don't have some of them that you can be met with luck. Yes, we still have some. In fact, I've seen a situation where I applied to an opportunity within a short period of time and I got it without any stress. You understand? So guys, if you are planning to come to Brazil in 2026, these are some of the things that you should put in place. Your CV, your language, number one, your CV, number two, then a deep preparation for interview. When you are going for interview, don't go sharp, don't go unprepared. First impression matter most. And if you are being shortlisted, for example, for any of the stages, for example, if you have been shortlisted for an interview and you are looking for someone that you can do a review with, or you are looking for someone that can assist you for interview preparation, or you are just still planning to come to Brazil, let's say in 2026, and you are looking for someone that can also hold you by hands and walk you through this, don't forget to reach out to me via email. Don't forget to follow this channel if you are yet. So I wanted to send this video to someone that is planning to come to Brazil and is still not preparing very well. Let them know that truly Brazil don't cast, and the race is now for the fittest. One of the ways you can prove yourself to be fit for it is to prepare for the language, prepare for the interview, and make sure that your CV does not look scanty and shabby. I'm wishing you best of luck in your career, and I'm hoping to hear that you got the opportunity. I will see you in the next video. At breve. Ciao, ciao.